Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Today's June 19th, 2016. The NBA Finals just concluded. The Cleveland Cavaliers have defeated the Golden State Warriors, winning the first pro sports championship for the city since 1964. All throughout the NBA season, I've been saying why a lot lines up for Cleveland this year. It looks like it's their year to break the streak. I'm not at all surprised by the outcome today. I'm going to show you just how scripted this game was and why the final score was 93-89, a scripted outcome before the game even began. If you watched my work on last year's NBA Finals, which I also predicted, I was talking about these same numbers, 93 and 89. So today, June 19th, the day of Game 7 of the NBA Finals, it's the real King James's birthday, King James the Sixth. Here's LeBron James, nicknamed King James, in his sixth straight NBA Finals. Today, King James would have turned 450 years old, June 19th, 1566. The King James Bible is named after him, which is 66 books in length. Notice he was born in the year 66. LeBron in Gematria equals 66. So does the word king in Jewish Gematria. They both sum to 66. LeBron became the first player to go to 6 straight NBA championships since Bill Russell in 1966. All of this is scripted and planned. The NBA is like a theatrical performance, no different than a play or a movie. If you doubt that, watch the video, watch what I'm about to show. King James in Gematria sums to 89, just like the word religion, King James Bible. LeBron James was sure to score the 89th point of the game, making the score 89-87, a lead in the bottom half of the fourth quarter. Klay Thompson would come down and score 89-89, and a timeout would be called shortly after. They'd take the timeout at a minute 09. If you've seen the work I've done on Cleveland in the regular season, I've shown why they win with 109 points so often. 109 is the 29th prime number. Ohio equals 29. Go back and look at Cleveland's box scores. See how often this number comes up, and it comes up on dates of significance. This is how scripted the NBA is. They stop the clock at certain seconds that are tributes. If you doubt this, continue to watch, because I'm going to show you where the major tribute came at the end for King James. They put up this stat right here. Lakers, Jerry West, the players to get triple doubles in an NBA game. LeBron did it today. Jerry West did it 1969, 47 years ago. Ohio equals 47 in simple English Gematria. King James also has Gematria 44 the small way. The name Jerry West equals 44. He wore 44. 44 years ago, Jerry West set the record win streak of 33 games that the Warriors were chasing at the beginning of the season. Jerry West is now the executive of the Golden State Warriors, who are in their 44th season of being in Golden State. So tribute to 44 right here. Then they got James Worthy up here. James Worthy wore number 42, a number stamped all over black Americans throughout history. The name LeBron James equals 42, just like Bill Russell. Again, the first player to go to 6 straight championships since Bill Russell in 66. Last year, LeBron James scored 44 points in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. The announcer made this huge exclamation when he scored his 44th point, even though it was at the end of the game when it was already over. Meaningless basket, but the announcer went nuts. They emphasize these numbers. So here we have it tied up 89-89 late. I mean, look at how late it is in the game. Golden State's not going to score again. In the final 3:20, not a single bucket. Game 7 NBA Finals. Pretty amazing to think about. No buckets for that amount of time. The other time it was tied in the fourth quarter was at 83-83. 83 is the 23rd prime number. LeBron James, King James, wears number 23. Here was my favorite, though. LeBron goes up for this big dunk at the end, gets fouled, comes down, and pretends he's hurt. You don't see LeBron lay around on the court very often. I haven't seen this since the San Antonio Spurs, where LeBron exited the game with 33 minutes playing time. I still remember that Game 1 against the Spurs 2 years ago in the finals. But anyway, they stopped the clock right at 10.6. And I know to many people this is going to sound crazy, But this was truly a scripted play in the game. They had the clock ready to stop at this second. The clock probably could have been stopped at 11 seconds, 10 seconds. Nobody would have known the difference. They stopped it at 10.6 for a reason. This is a number I've been talking about since last year before the NBA playoffs. This number is big in sports. The number 106, which is a lot like 10.6. All playoffs, they've had Paul Pierce on the TV saying he thinks the Cavs are going to win. The name Paul Pierce equals 106. Look, before the season, he signed a $10.6 million contract. And all NBA Finals, ESPN has had him on saying the Cavs are going to win the series. He predicted tonight they'd win, and he winked into the camera before the game began. Prophecy is a huge number. To the gang, to the Masons who script these leagues by the numbers. Look at this. Today is King James' birthday. He was born June 19th, 1566. That's a date with 106 numerology. Today is also the 106th Father's Day ever. The tradition began in 1910 on June 19th. It's 106 years later today. As I pointed out when I was saying that this series was going to go to 7 games, LeBron was the first player and the Cavs to clinch a spot in the conference championship. They did that on Mother's Day. Mother's Day came 42 days before Father's Day. LeBron James equals 42 the small way. All this 106. The Warriors were in their 106th game of the season today. They lost to King James. You know, typically 106 goes in the favor of the Philadelphia teams because Revelation is the book of prophecy. Philadelphia is named from Revelation, and the Warriors originally come from Philadelphia. Last year, the 106 went in the favor of the Warriors, who won. After them winning, the scorekeeper for the Philadelphia team that had been with the league since 1947 when the Philadelphia Warriors were there, he died shortly after the NBA Finals, 106 days after his birthday. Been talking about this number all year in regards to basketball since even before the season began. So King James down with 10.6, you know, major King James tribute here. LeBron would end up taking the free throw line. He would make one of his free throws. I'll tell you what, if I was in a casino and could have bet how many free throws LeBron was going to make, I would have bet he was only going to make one because 93, the other huge number that I've been talking about it all last year through the NBA Finals. Oracle Arena, where they were playing, equals 93. So does Saturn. Saturn is the keeper of time. Saturn is very important to the occult, to this language of numbers. These numbers, paramount, King James, a tribute in time. That's the way you can read this, 9389. Earlier this year, I did a video on the Harlem Globetrotters, the death of one of their longtime stars. He died at age 89. Harlem Globetrotters equals 89. Their song, their theme song with the whistling, I wish I could do it, is Sweet Georgia Brown, Gematria of 89. I think in a way this is all part of the tribute too, because the NBA is very much like the Harlem Globetrotters. Highly skilled basketball players performing a rigged game, a planned game, a form of acting and being an athlete. And that's exactly what goes on in the NBA. And, you know, to say that acting doesn't go on in the NBA, you can't play basketball and make that statement. You know, those of us who play basketball, we know when we play basketball, when we collide with people, they don't go flying back 10 feet to draw the foul like they always do in the NBA, like how Vlade Divac began a culture, you know? It's just like soccer and playing up the injury. There's so much acting in pro sports, it's so evident, you know? You have to be wearing the wool over the eyes not to see it. So 93.89, this is your reason for this score. Remember, Oracle alone equals 54. Oracle has to do with future telling. The Warriors' win streak was snapped at 54 games this season. They began the season chasing that record of 33 straight, set by Jerry West 44 years earlier. A streak that was snapped by the Milwaukee Bucks, just like the Warriors' streak was snapped by the Milwaukee Bucks this year. Those are the top two streaks in NBA history, 33 and 28. Both snapped by the Milwaukee Bucks. I have a video on why the Milwaukee Bucks snapped both streaks at 33 and 28. Stuff you can go back and check out. In those videos, I was showing how Cavs and Warriors should be the NBA Finals based on what was happening earlier in the regular season. Lots of information to go back and check out. So the Cavs, they were the 33rd team to be in this situation ever, down 3-1 in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, or, with a chance to win the NBA Finals, 33rd team to be down 3-1. They're the first to win, and I pointed out, Cleveland is the only city in the league that equals 33, fitting for them to become the 33rd team to be in that scenario. NBA Finals also equals 33. And with regards to them coming back from 3-1, again, LeBron is 31 years old right now, kind of like 3-1. Basketball equals 31. Been a lot of 31 in basketball this year. Villanova won for the first time in 31 years in the college championship. Curry came back from 3-1, scoring 31 points. The name Curry equals 31, just like basketball. Cavs in the playoffs set 2 records. Biggest lead at halftime, which was 31 points. Did that earlier. And also won a game by 31 points, which was also a record. So this theme has been going on, these scripted games with the numerology tributes. So the record is now 1-32 in the NBA, win down 3-1. And what that makes me think of is this. There's a lot of Catholic connections in the NBA. When Villanova won, I showed how it synced up perfectly with the date the Pope left through Philadelphia. Remember, the Warriors originally from Philadelphia, Villanova from just outside of Philadelphia. The day before Villanova won the championship, there was a 106-mile-per-hour Amtrak train wreck, just like how last year there was a Philadelphia train wreck on May 12th, the 132nd day of the year. That train also traveling 106 miles per hour. Remember, prophecy equals 106? Philadelphia, the city of prophecy, from Revelation in the Bible. The Philadelphia train wreck last year, May 12th, was the 132nd day of the year. They said that happened at 9:23 p.m., the train wreck at 9:23. In Jewish gematria, LeBron James equals 923. 923. He would star in the movie Trainwreck right after the NBA Finals. All of this stuff is scripted by the same gang. The Masons, the Zionist Jews, they control pro sports, they control the movies, they control the record studios. They put their tributes everywhere. It's like they lay clues, a riddle. That train wreck was also very much connected to Pope Francis's visit. Again, Catholic Church, LeBron played ball, high school ball, at a Catholic school before coming to the NBA. Look at how many players in the NBA went to Catholic high schools, Jesuit high schools, Catholic colleges. It's overwhelming. In the third quarter, Cleveland scores 33 in the third for the team with the 33 gematria. They get that tribute a lot if you pay attention. In the fourth quarter, it was a combined 31 points. The Warriors only scored 13. It was the final game of LeBron's 13th season. Remember, Golden State equals 41, just like the word king. 41, the 13th prime number. All the King James tributes today. I think that's another one, going down with 13 points. I noticed the big three for the Cavs, Love, Irving, LeBron. They combined for 62 points. The NBA Finals began on June 2nd. A date with 44 numerology. The starting five combined for 83 points, again the 23rd prime. LeBron, number 23. And then I noticed over with the Warriors, their starting five scored 73 points. They won 73 games this year, a record, defeating Chicago's record. Remember, the first NBA championship was won by the Philadelphia Warriors over the Chicago Stags. Michael Jordan played his last game against Philadelphia. This year, Michael Jordan's record eclipsed by the team from Philadelphia, originally the Warriors. I've done a lot of work on this NBA season. There's a ton more information. Just trying to bring back some of the highlights. 73 points from the starting five in the 73-win season. And again, all of these games are scripted to the point. So you have to begin to ask, how do they do it? How do they hit it so perfect? All I can think of is technology. In 2007, the NBA had that David Blaine magician advertising campaign where there's magnets in the ball. He's telling everybody there's magnets in the ball. I think they put the truth right in front of our face. There is advanced technology. There's advanced magnetic technology. There could be something in these balls that truly keeps them in or out of the rim for need be to make sure the score is at the point. And that's 100% what I think is going on. all of these games to the point that I keep showing. How else could it be? At the end of the third quarter, I thought this was favorable for the Cavs. It was 151 combined points, the 36th prime. Remember, the Villanova championship was 77-74, 151 combined points. Villanova got their 36th win on the season. Villanova equals 36. Similar tribute here at the end of the third quarter. It did end up going in the favor of the Cavs. I noticed LeBron at the end of the third quarter was 6 for 16. Their last game was June 16th in Cleveland. Big game, big win to send it to Game 7. In the third quarter, the game was tied at 54-54. The Cavs came back to tie it after trailing by 7 at the half in Game 7. Think about all the sevens as well. LeBron's 7th NBA Finals, his first NBA Finals was 2007, trailing by 7 at the half. Anyway, they come back to tie it at 54. 54-54, Oracle equals 54. Warriors win streak snapped at 54 games by the Celtics. Remember, I did a video that day, and I pointed out how the Cavs got their 54th win the day the Warriors streak was snapped at 54 games. The Cavs defeated the Hawks. The Warriors lost to the Celtics. In the decade of dominance by the Celtics, they won, they went to 10 championships. They lost 1 against the Hawks, the same team the Cavs defeated the day the Warriors lost to the Celtics. Celtics-Hawks in history. I said that looks good for a Cavs-Warriors repeat. As I've been saying all season, this is another confirmation the Cavs are to win it. Been documenting this stuff all year. The game got tied up at 71-71-2. Catholic equals 71. A minute 56 stands out because if you write out the word 33, it sums to 156. If you write out February 2nd, which is the 33rd day of the year, it sums to 156. So many things that are connected to 33 sum to 156. Important number throughout history. NBA Finals equals 33. Remember Cleveland. Very interesting that the score was that with the clock stopped at a minute 56. At halftime, the score was 42-49. Again, Cavs down 7. LeBron James equals 42. Cleveland Cavs 42. NBA Finals equals 42. Freemason 42. Warriors equals 49. Revelation equals 49. Again, Philadelphia named from Revelation. The Warriors from Philly. Combined 91 points. 91 points. Game 7 equals 91. 91 points at the half. A tribute to Game 7. It's also the 19th day of the month, 91, the reflection of 19. Trailing by 7 in Game 7 in LeBron's 7th NBA Finals. And look, it went in the favor of LeBron James, 42. I noticed LeBron James was 5 of 11 at halftime. Saturn in Jewish gematria sums to 511. In simple English gematria, Saturn sums to 93. 511, 93, numbers that often get paired together. A classic example is the death of Bob Marley, who died May 11th, 5/11. Bob Marley equals 93. Bob equals 19. Marley 74. His solo music career began in 1974 when he left the Wailers. Anyway, this 511, 93 pairing comes up a lot. And I think this was a tribute at halftime for what the final score would be, I still thought LeBron had a chance. See, this is even what I wrote at halftime. Saturn, Oracle Arena, 93. When you recognize all this stuff, it's so predictable. Irving was 4-9, a lot like 49 for Warriors, Revelation. I was really thinking LeBron was going to score 42. That didn't happen, It would have been too perfect. Who knows? Maybe they were going to do it and I ruined it for them. Maybe they had to go with plan B. 42 would have been too perfect. If you missed my preview video, check out why I thought it was going to be 42. It was still an interesting thought, even though it didn't happen. In the first half, Green had the big first half. Green and LeBron both wear the number 23. King James equals 35. Draymond Green was the 35th overall pick in 2012. Monster first half, 22 points. Remember, basketball equals 22, the smallest way. Cavs had 42 attempts at the half. They were also 1 for 14 from three-point land. LeBron James equals 114 the big way. When the city of Cleveland last won a pro sports championship, it was with Jim Brown, who in that game rushed for 114 yards. And I'm telling you, these people have things scripted so far out that I really think that was a planned tribute with Jim Brown and now LeBron James winning in the time of the 114th Congress. Last year, I predicted the NBA Finals based on voting day on November 4th for the 114th Congress, based on what LeBron James did that day, and then February 26th against the Warriors. So 114, always a significant number around LeBron. On voting day, November 4th, 2014, LeBron James had his career worst performance since his rookie season. It was the voting day for the 114th Congress, which was led by John Boehner out of Ohio. John Boehner equaled 114 as well. These are the way they do the tributes, you know. 1 of 14 doesn't seem like the nicest tribute, but hey, in the end, it was all about LeBron James and winning. At the end of the first quarter, I suspect a lot of you who follow my work caught this, 22-22 with 4.4 seconds on the clock. LeBron would go to the line, make one, miss one, making the score 23-22 to end the quarter. Again, 44, a huge number. 4.4 like 44, a sum of 44 points plus basketball's 22. King James, 44. Warriors in their 44th season of being in Golden State. Jerry West again, you know. The NBA Finals started on a date with 44 numerology. They put up this stat at the end of the first quarter. The last time Cleveland won was December 27th, 1964. That's a date with 122 numerology. Golden State equals 122. San Francisco equals 122, where Golden State was prior. And Oakland and San Francisco sit on the 122nd meridian as well. This date in history syncs up with Golden State, where Cleveland just ended the drought. Remember, 1964 to 2016, now 52 years. The word prophecy, the small way, equals 52. At the beginning of the season, I was saying how it was a 51-year drought in 2015. Cleveland equals 51. LeBron James equals 51. Cleveland Cavs equals 51. If you're new here and the numbers are too much, just watch my how-to gematria video. You learn this skill, you see how simple it is. But anyway, 51, 52 important years. Cleveland began this season with the 51-year drought. It's now to 52. They end it. According to prophecy, you know, prophecy 52 the small way, 106 the big way. We talked about the big 106 tributes. That was also a date with 103 numerology. Very interesting that it was Cleveland's 103rd game today that they won in, which is a lot like 13. Just lose the 0 in the middle. Doesn't really count in numerology. To close out LeBron's 13th season. King equals 41. Today had 41 numerology, 41 the 13th prime. The King wins in Cleveland, his home state, at the end of his 13th season. 146 major sports seasons. There was this blackout early in the playoffs, 57 days before today. The word championships connected to 57. 146 has to do with power outage. I wondered if there was some sort of tribute there. Maybe if we might get a delay in the game with the lights going out like they did earlier in the playoffs. That didn't happen. Just something I was looking at. So they've been calling LeBron the Godfather all week. I wrote this before the game. Godfather equals 84, like Sunday, like Jesuit, as in the Catholic order that controls so many of these NBA players. United States of America equals 84. The small way, the Godfather equals 63. If you add every number up to 63, it sums to 2016, like the year. You know, the Godfather has now won in 2016. Another headline recently, LeBron's foundation to spend $41 million to send kids to college. Makes you wonder if it's even true. King 41, today's date numerology 41. The king has been crowned. You know, in Game 5, I showed the cover of Sports Illustrated and how it pointed to a Game 7 and the Cavs getting crowned on that date, what they used in their own subtitle. As I also covered before the game, in case you missed this, the last time a road team won Game 7 in the NBA Finals was 1978. That was fitting for Cleveland this year. Cleveland equals 78, NBA Finals 78. The last team to do it was the Washington Bullets, who were visiting the Seattle Supersonics in Washington State, Washington. Washington is also the 42nd state. LeBron James, 42. Bill Russell, 42. Bill Russell began his relationship with the Sonics 42 years ago. Cleveland Cavs 42, Freemason 42. Washington also has gematria of 130, a lot like 13. 13, a big number on the game today. When you write out 13, it sums to 99. Look at what Seattle lost with when they went down. It was a tribute to 13. And look at what the first two games were. 106, like prophecy. All of these games, if you can read the code as well as these people code it, which is very hard to do without extensive research, what I'm trying to do, I still have a long way to go. I don't understand it all. But, you just start to see these things. You pick up on them. You see what they've been doing over all these years. My book's almost done. I show how they coded this number 106 all throughout history. The first state established in the United States, Delaware, was on a date with 106 numerology. Israel, the Zionist state, established on a date with 106 numerology. And to the Zionists, they call it a date of prophecy. Israel established according to prophecy on a date with 106 numerology. This stuff's way bigger than basketball. That was also in the year 1947, the year of the first NBA championship, won by Philadelphia, the team from the city of prophecy. Something else I pointed out about today's date, June 19th is kind of like the number 619, which is the 114th prime number. LeBron James, 114. Jim Brown, 114 rushing yards in the last championship. This comes in the time of the 114th Congress. Not long before the election of the 115th Congress. And historically, when the East has won the NBA Finals, there's been a Democrat-elected president. Everything lines up for Hillary to be president, something I've been saying since 2008. Think about how the Republican conventions in Cleveland, Donald Trump is running as a stooge to help Hillary win, because nobody likes Hillary. This year, the Democratic conventions in Philadelphia, where the Warriors are originally from. Cleveland has now won. That bodes well for the Democratic Party and Hillary, which we can soon expect. Today was also Juneteenth, the date in history that the slaves were freed. Civil War equals 43. Charleston equals 43, where the Civil War began. The Cavs won it, the series 4-3, kind of like 43. Another number I've been talking about. There's been a lot of Civil War tributes in these NBA Finals. If you've missed all my videos prior, you're missing out. You got to go back and watch what I've been showing. Anyway, Juneteenth, the date the slaves were freed in history. Maybe this is, Cleveland being freed from this loss. Maybe to the Madmen, it's kind of like a parallel to them. Charleston also has gematria 52, 52-year drought over. Today also had 61 numerology, finals equals 61. Both teams came in with 610 points scored. 2 games ago, there was the big 61-61 tribute at halftime where no team could get a bucket in the final minutes. Score finishing at 61-61. This is how synced up it all is. This is how to the point it is. Remember, Cleveland just won Game 6 with a combined 216 points. The last game in Cleveland, home of the 216 area code. Scripted. Somebody also pointed this out to me. In history, on the 43rd day of the year, February 12th, 2014, when LeBron was still with the Heat, he beat the Warriors with a buzzer beater. 43rd day, he now wins 4-3. Check this out. Champion has gematria 43. LeBron, when he won this game, it was with a buzzer beater, winning 111 to 110. The NBA Finals in simple English gematria equals 111. I think that this was a tribute to what was to come. I showed this how when I predicted the Broncos were going to beat the Panthers, that the last time these teams had met, the score had summed to 50 points, meeting in Super Bowl 50. It's always the same, I think that was a big tribute. LeBron took the score from 109 to 111. 108 to 111. Golden State Warriors equals 108. From 108 to 111 to beat them. The date of that game to today's championship win, 122 weeks and 3 days. Remember, Golden State equals 122. The last time Cleveland won a pro sports championship, a date with 122 numerology. Oracle Arena is also 106 feet tall at its tallest point. Talked about this story before Game 5. 106-year-old fan for the Warriors. All she wanted was the win for the Warriors. This story is a complete hoax. It's just a mockery of the people. It's just them coding their numbers. Again, You know, 106, the number of prophecy. Last year, the 106-mile-per-hour train wreck before the Warriors won in Philly. This year, the same thing, the day before the Villanova teams wins from just outside of Philly. Ask yourself, what are the odds? And if you didn't see my work on the college championship, I was talking about the train wreck before it even happened. You know? That's how you know my work's on point. The things I talk about, they happen again and again. So there it is, your scripted NBA Finals. You know, if you got time, go back and watch all the other videos I've done so far. Look at that shot, 89-89 with the number 13 on the screen. It's just so... It's so by the numbers. You know? Don't ever forget it. LeBron down with 10.6. Just like 2014 against the Spurs, comes out limping off the court. 33 minutes played. Cleveland. All right, Truth Seeker. Till next time.